Well, we've got breaking news from the NFL where Tampa Bay Bucs wide receiver Mike Evans is going to miss multiple weeks with a hamstring injury. That's the latest from our NFL insider, Jonathan Jones. Evans suffered that injury in Sunday's come-from-behind win over the Jets, but JJ says there is no plan to put him on IR. The Bucs are off to a 3-0 start, but they face a very tough test this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles. And with that, we want to welcome you into our CBS Sports HQ studios. Haley Sutton alongside Tommy Tran, and we've got the NFL crew, our former lineman Kyle Long, our pair of former linemen, I should say, Pete Prisco.
You actually played
and
quarterback,
Kyle
Pete Prisco.
When I was a kid, I was a quarterback.
He's
Called my
a
own
lineman
plays in
through
8th
and
grade.
through.
I was good at it,
I'm
too.
a man now. I play O-line. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's right. I moved on up. Tough guys.
Let's get the conversation started here, guys. I want to keep it in Tampa Bay, of course, starting with Mike Evans out with a hamstring injury. It's interesting as well. I saw earlier that he's had a hamstring injury every year since, 2019, Pete? I mean, where's the concern level
Some
here?
people say he's a walking hamstring. I mean, it's
Still good for 1,000 yards, though.
Yeah.
Still good for 1,000 yards, though.
Hey, but you'd like him on the field every
Yes, you
week.
would. Correct.
Look, when you get to be older, he's got problems. He's going to continue to have those kind of problems. And it's just bad because this team has been decimated by injuries. You know, we talk about the offensive line. Not one guy last week started in the spot that he was supposed to start before the season. 2 guards made their first start in that game. Now, they had 5 holding penalties on the first drive, but that's a whole other issue. They still had 347 yards of offense and did a nice job. But you take him out. You take Godwin out. You take that offensive line. It's really putting a lot on Baker Mayfield.
Hey, this is why you build the team the way that you do. This is why the strengths on your team, you can continue to build on strengths, and it puts you in a good spot for when Mike Evans, who's obviously had this hamstring thing for a half decade now, when he's on the lineup, you could throw it to Emeka Egbuka. Baker Mayfield can scramble, make things happen in the running game. And you mentioned the offensive line. I look back to last week's matchup against the Texans, and it was Heck over there at right tackle, and these guys are battling against some of the best edge rushers. And then this past week, the interior gets shuffled. Every week will be a new battle. Just like Baker Mayfield every year has a new offense, this offensive line every week will have a new boss battle they have to fight.
They might get Wirfs back this week. Tristan Wirfs might be back at left
Huge.
tackle. That would be enormous for them.
So let's keep it with Tampa Bay then, and you mentioned Baker, so I want to go there. I mean, he's been unreal. We talked about it on Sunday, the grit that he plays with, and ever since he joined Tampa, he's been lights out. So, Kyle, they've got a tough test this week. Of course, they're taking on the Eagles. Going to be a little bit more difficult to stay undefeated, but if you've got Baker in there, how much of the concern, I guess, does Mike Evans go, especially when you look at the rest of the schedule?
Well, obviously, it would help having Mike Evans out there. And against this Eagles team, it's going to be a lot of the improvisation we've seen from Baker Mayfield. The Eagles have guys who can get home on the quarterback. And with the situation at the offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're going to be looking at some chaotic completions or sacks for Baker Mayfield. It's either going to be the best version of Baker that we've seen, where he's taking off up through the A-gap, escaping stage right, making a throw, or turning into a 10-yard scramble. It's going to be a lot of that against the Eagles, Pete.
And run the ball. I mean, look, I know it's easier said than done, but if you run the ball and take that heat off of him, it makes it so much easier on him. And we know he can get outside and make plays, but you have to, Bucky Irvin and that gang, they have to run the football against the Eagles, and I think you can. I think when you look at the Eagles, you can run the ball. You saw early in that game last week against the Rams ran it on them. I think you can run on this group.
Tampa Bay 3-0 at the death every game. So some would say, yes, they know how to win close games. Others would say they're living a bit of a charmed life. They've got the injuries, so it'll be interesting to see.
2 on the road, though. You win 2 games
correct.
on the
You're right.
road.
You're right.
And
about
the
that.
way that they won them.
Right.
Fair enough.
Is very
yes.
important, and that experience travels with you.
By the way, I'm not one of them that says they have a charmed life. They're a good team.
Yeah.
They've won the division, and they've done it also in the postseason as well.